Coming up, you may not know much about it, but it works to improve your health. Also, a look at Hope Harbor, bringing what its name implies. This and more up next on Perspectives. Hello everyone, I'm Sam Jones. As we tape this, Election Day is almost here. We've had others, but this one is so very important. There's so much anger out there that for the most part, well, serious issues have fallen to one side. But all of us have to give serious thought to our vote. Otherwise, it's just going to be business as usual. Now, you have to know the truth about everything before you step into that voting booth. You also have to know exactly what truth is. Now, for example, if I say to just all of us listening right now that Christians celebrate Christmas on December 25th, or some Americans saw the sun shining today, you'd have to agree because I told the truth and you know it. If I were to say the United States has never been this divided before, that's not true. And if you think about it, you know I'm right. Remember the Civil War? We took up arms, turned on one another, and the death toll ran very high. And don't forget the 60s. Vietnam, violence in the streets here. Talk about division. The New York Times, which isn't failing by the way, and the Washington Post got their hands on a top secret Department of Defense study of U.S. involvement in Vietnam from 1945 to 1967. Now, this study, and I'm quoting now, revealed the hypocrisy of several administrations and the presidents who realized the war could not be won, but told the country a different story. In other words, they lied. Well, the Times and the Post started printing that study, known as the Pentagon Papers, in segments. And the Nixon administration took the Post to court. It quickly went all the way to the U.S. Supreme Court. The High Court's verdict? Well, the justices stood behind the newspaper, and their ruling started the healing process. Writing for the 6-3 majority, Justice Hugo Black said the Founding Fathers gave the free press the protection it must have to fulfill its essential role in our democracy. The press, he said, was to serve the governed, not the governors, end quote. So, take a look around this great state of ours. You like what you see? Major budget problems, schools and educators that need help, and they aren't getting it. Our tax dollars flowing out of state, a state divided and in need of healing help. Our future depends on your help. So I ask you, do you know the truth about who's running? And do you know who is telling you the truth about fixing our problems? Be careful, my friend. Be very, very careful. Don't waste that one thing you have that could make a difference in Oklahoma's future. Your vote is so important. Also, when somebody screams fake news, remember what the late Phil Gramm of the Washington Post said about the news. He said, and I quote, "The news is the first rough draft of history," end quote. And I might add, the history of Oklahoma is at stake right now. And that's my perspective. Still to come, how the Turning Point Council is working to help you when we come back.